Oh, there's my trash can and my feets. Do you like some? It rhymes with my beats. I'm a little happier because I'm not happy because of the rain. I'm happy because of the side effect of the rain. It's cooler. Of course, that makes it more difficult for me to sleep because I am not busting out any kind of cover. Freaking something on my phone cover. I'm not breaking out any kind of cover. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to just, I guess, sleep without a fan. 'Cause, I mean, it'll be cool. It'll be cool in here. Well, it'll be comfortable. It just won't be like hot until tomorrow. Then it'll be hot. Then it'll be like, ugh. But whatever. Anyway, anytime, I just, whatever. Sometimes I see um, sometimes I see like a bump in clips with like Bill Burr on them, and especially in the Midas Touch feed, it's like, yeah, I could do that too, and I could talk about Bill Burr, and I could talk about I could spend videos, I could dedicate multiple videos talking about, you know, things that I don't know. I don't know how to make the explanation, but I could talk about clickbaity things and put clickbaity shit in the title to get more subscribers, but it would feel cheap and dirty. And I've done that a couple times, and they are the most watched videos with like 50 views. And it's just, yeah, it feels dirty when I do that, even though I didn't do that to do that. It's just like, yeah. So even now, even when I do talk about Bill Burr, mention him just like for a second. I don't write it in the title. It's just, you know, I don't even know if they did. They just put like comedian does this. They had a picture of, you know, Bill Burr's podcast thumbnail in there. So it's like, oh yeah, of course. You know. So it's like, you're, I mean, yeah, you're covering, you're trying to, I don't know. I don't know exactly. I mean, yeah, you're talking about it. I don't know, whatever. But to me, it still feels like a little cheap that you're doing that. Still feels like a little. maybe not cheap, but kind of an easy way to get hits. And I would rather get I would rather get I would rather get an infield home run than a Mark McGwire home run. I don't know. That's an old reference, but it's the only one I know because I hate baseball. I have time. Um, uh, so yeah, I just don't know exactly what the title, the talk about this. Yeah. Working girl. What's that Dolly Parton song? The Dolly Parton song they used on, I think it was Dolly Parton. The one they use on the Bortus episode where their egg hatches and they have a girl, but they um, they have to get her conformed because they live in an all male society, which is weird because when you have a unisex society, when you have an all male society, you don't have an all male society. I think about this kind of thing. It kind of goes back to what I think about. If you have, if you live on a planet where there's eternal sunlight and your civilization grows up and develops and stuff on that world, your lexicon, your language would never have a word for night. You would never develop a word for night or nighttime. And you might not even have a word for daytime either. Because there would be no need to create a word for either. Eventually, you would have a word for light, but it might be kind of different. The meaning would be subtly different. The physics would probably be the same. Once you break down the physics, I mean, it would look basically the same. Photons would be photons in essence, but the way they think about the word without the mathematics and physics attached would be probably different. But it goes to the same kind of principle. Since they don't have the day-night cycle, they wouldn't have the word day and night because without both of them, you just, it doesn't exist. And because of that, you don't have dawn and twilight, and you don't have sunset. Without an opposing thing, you have no conception of transition. You have none of this other stuff. So that's the thing, like in a unisex society. Now I realize it doesn't hold entirely true, because they occasionally do have females still. So that's the weird thing about their society. It's weird that they did have females, and they probably at some point had proportionally a lot of females. And somewhere along the line, they were like, these bitches are crazy. So we're just gonna use genetics to splice, to change the reproduction process, to boom, make it so that all of the reproduction process is in one thing, is in one part of the species. And it's one, but still there is occasionally an anomaly that happens through some quirk that now is 1 in 10,000 or something like that, a mutation of a genetic reversion to the old way. It's kind of like nature fighting back against their societal decision to help fight some kind of weird decision that they tried to make to unify the sexes, so there would be less headbutting or something. I don't know. It's kind of a weird philosophical debate that they used genetic engineering to be like, all right, this will be easier if we just make everybody, if we combine everything into just one, and now we'll reproduce as eggs. It's like, all right, well, I don't know how fun that is, but whatever. But yeah, like I said, it's like so yeah, I got onto that. That was a weird tangent, but it's good stuff. It's good to have a tangent. So I don't know. Call it working girl. Working 9 to 5. I don't even know if it's called working girl. Because working girl kind of means, well, it means something. I don't know. All right. Boobs out. Boobs.